Hello everyone. I cannot believe it is week 4. I just want to start out with a huge congratulations to you guys, and I want you guys to really give yourselves a pat on the back and a really big round of applause for you for making it to the 4th week. This is the last week of the first month. So that's something to really be proud of. I can't tell you guys enough how proud I am of each and every single one of you for hanging in this long, even if it hasn't been perfect. Because little by little, every single day we are getting better, you know? And I can see that you're making progress in your in your daily habits, in your sorry, allergies, and that's why my eyes are a little puffy. I'm sorry. I'm like, oh, it's just bad. This time of year sucks for me right now. Even though I love it, it just wreaks havoc on me. So if I start sneezing, I'm sorry. But I can see the progress that you're making in your habits and in the choices that you're making, in your motivation and your drive, and I can see that each day you're getting stronger, and I really want you guys to see that in yourselves and give yourself a big round of applause for that, because that's awesome. Even if it hasn't been perfect, you guys are getting better, and I can see that. I can see it, especially, and the biggest thing is in the way that you guys look at life. And I think that's what makes the biggest impact. It's how we look at what it is around us and how we want to make, because that's when we realize how we can make an impact. So I love all of the progress that you guys are making, and I want you to know that this is just such a big week, because this is the week where, the last week before we take our 30-day pictures. Saturday is going to be a, kind of a, the last day, because Monday we take our pictures, right? Sunday's rest day. So Saturday is going to be that kind of moment of truth. And this is also the ending of week 3, which they say 21 days to make a habit, right? So this is the week where this has kind of become a habit and a part of our routine. We're starting to think more consciously about what we're doing and the choices we're making. And you're probably thinking about a lot of things this week. So what I want you to think about this coming week is what you're doing, and ask yourself, is what you're doing working? Do you feel like you're getting results? Are you seeing weight loss when you step on the scale once a week? Are you seeing inches lost? Now, on Monday when we go to take our pictures and when we do our measurements and we step on that scale, there are probably going to be some of you that are going to step on it and not see a change. You're not going to see a change in your measurements. And there are going to be others who are going to see a drastic change. And I really want to point that out, because I don't want you to get discouraged. And I'm coming from a place, because this happened to me in my journey. Think about halfway through, I lost about 30 pounds, and then I kind of got stuck. I was eating, I was making different choices, and I was getting on the scale and I was taking my measurements, and I wasn't seeing any results. And I was getting very, very discouraged, and I kind of slipped back into the emotional eating, and I got off track. But my body had started to recognize that from those healthier foods that I was eating, it noticed all of a sudden the junk food I was putting back in, and I started feeling sicker, and I was like, whoa, so maybe what I'm doing is working. So instead, what I decided to do was research and use it as motivation, because, sorry, I lost where I was. I stopped looking at the picture. But I used it as motivation and fuel for me, and I researched and reevaluated what I was doing. So one of the things I want to teach you that was taught to me by my mentor, Sarita. She's in this group. Many of you may know her. Some of you may not. I'm not sure. And also, more recently, by my coach, Jackie, in the business aspect. But Sarita first introduced it into the fitness aspect, because, as I mentioned, I was making better choices in eating, but my holdup was I wasn't doing the exercises. So she had me reevaluate what I was doing, and then had me do what's called successorizing, and that was the study of successful people in the area that I was trying to get better at, which was what she just did. It was just as living a healthier lifestyle, and in turn I ended up seeing the importance of exercise, and I started exercising a little more consistently. And I still fall off from time to time, but I'm getting better at that, and I'm following people who are successful in that. So this is something that I do, that I have done in my fitness, and I still do in my fitness, and that I've also now applied into my business and in just life in general, because it really does help. If there's any aspect that you want to get better in, the best way to do it, I feel, is to just learn from people who are successful in it. And they'll tell you that to follow successful people, because you'll see their habits and you'll hear what they're talking about, and it'll start to make sense, and you'll start to implement that into your own daily routine in your own life, and you'll see over time the compounded effect of that. So whenever you're trying to be good at something, you should study successful people. So I'm going to share with you some of the tips that successful people do in fitness and exercise to see their max results and to see and reach their goals. And I want you to not be discouraged by the number on the scale at the end of the week, but rather use it as motivation to push harder this week, so that next week when we take those 30-day pictures, that you're closer than where you are this week, and that you have that motivation to push further during the second month, and to really see your goals start to take form. So tip number 1, I want you to try to stick to the same menu. Not only is this easier when it comes to planning and grocery shopping, but it's good. It works for a routine and getting in a habit, because you know what's in it. You kind of know the calories, the proteins, what is this going to do for my body. You know that you like it. You know it's easy to prepare. You know how to make it, and it just works. I recommend finding like 8 to 10 meals that you like, and then rotate them, you know, and just kind of stick to that. Keep it simple. And then when you get comfortable with that, then go in and research another meal or recipe, or another food maybe that could help with a symptom or something that you're having, or maybe just another food that you've wanted to try that you haven't had the chance, or something that is healthy that you see in looking up there's so many things you can find in just researching what you eat. So that's when you start to get comfortable, sorry, when you start to get comfortable, that's when you should research and start adding in slowly that stuff into your menu. Start scheduling that stuff into your meal plan. So yeah, and I'm all about staples. I love staples. Like I pretty much have, I make I make chicken stir fry, I make chili, we make a lot of turkey bacon and eggs. I do that for meal, or turkey bacon, eggs, pancakes, sometimes we do that for dinner. And then I do a lot of vegetarian spaghetti or pasta meals. And I pretty much stick to that. That's what I do. Spaghetti squash. I stick to that. I don't really and it's always the same vegetables too. You know, I like your peppers. I like onions, basil, green onion, mushroom. I don't really venture too far. I get zucchini, and then now I'm trying to research more and add in an item or try an item that I've never tried. Like I want to try okra. I've never tried okra, so I want to research that. Or I already have looked at what it can do, but I want to go buy that and try it and research up some recipes that I can make with that. So, oh, I got too far. Okay. Eating breakfast. People who don't eat breakfast are way more likely to be overweight. There is definitely a reason why they say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Sorry, my chair just went. Ah, it's not working. Okay, whatever. My chair is broken. There is, I already said that. It jump starts your metabolism. It starts your day off right. Like it gives you fuel for the day. That's how you start your day. What you put in at the beginning of the day, that's how your day is going to start to go. I mean, I guess you can fix it if you don't eat breakfast, but why try to play catch up when you can just start off right? It's not always easy to get breakfast in. Sometimes it just happens and you miss it, and I understand because it's happened to me. But it's definitely important to get breakfast, and that's why I love my Shakeology, because on days that I don't get to eat breakfast, I know I get my superfoods. Tip number 3, drink your water. You should hear that one, Missy.
I do hear it, and I don't like water.
Yeah,
People out there, I hate water.
I'm trying to work with her and show her how important water is. But they recommend 6 to 8 12-ounce glasses of water every day. That's what you should be drinking. Not Diet Pop or slushies or juices, unless it's all natural.
And tea's all natural.
Because water is also...
I'm cold. I'm cold. I'm really cold.
Yes, but my video is getting too long, so I need you guys to go because you're distracting me, and I don't want to make it too long. Okay, I'm sorry. Water is a... Alexis, I mean it, please, honey. Water is also a key indicator of hunger.
I just want to say hi.
No.
Hi.
Hi. Okay, now bye. I'm sorry, guys. Kids, this is real life right now. They're video bombing me. Anyway, where was I? Okay, yeah, that's how much you should be drinking. Not the Diet Pops and the juices unless it's all natural. Because water is what's going to keep you satisfied throughout your meals. Water is a key indicator to hunger. Say what? Like, I learned this, when I first learned this a few years ago, I was shocked because, let me tell you, I struggled with headaches. I struggled with headaches like every single day. Huge migraines. Now, I was born with scoliosis, so many of my doctors said it was just my back and my spine and my disc slipping, because I have a disc that slips and triggers migraines, which is true. That about 2 I would probably say I had a migraine every single day of the week. About 2 of those were probably actually related to my scoliosis. The rest was just a sign of dehydration because I wasn't drinking any water, and I was drinking a ton of pop and a ton of coffee, and that was a dehydrant. So what my doctors did was recommend me pills instead of telling me to drink, instead of asking me what it was I was eating and what it was I was drinking and telling me to drink more water. And when I found out that water was a key indicator of hunger, I realized that that's why I was so hungry all the time and that's why I was snacking. So I started drinking water in between my meals, and I realized that I was curing my headaches. And it was funny because I remember going like 2 days all of a sudden and didn't have a headache, and I was like, whoa, what just happened? It's because I'm drinking water. And not only that, but my cravings are going down. I'm not as hungry. And it was all because I only started it just to help get rid of my cravings. I ended up curing my migraines, which just blew my mind. And I ended up then I stopped seeing a doctor after that because I was just so mad. Like, this whole time I could have cured my migraines, and instead I was making them worse with the medication and the Advil that I took every day and the prescriptions that I was taking every day for it. And I was adding to that, to my migraine. I was adding other issues to that. So I'm sorry this video is so long, but I hope you guys all watch this. So a good way to tell if you're really hungry or if you're just thirsty is if it hasn't been 2 to 3 hours since you've last eaten, then you're probably just thirsty, and you've confused your body symptom for wanting water with being hungry. Tip 4, eat small and eat often. It's so easy to grab, and my kids do this all the time. They're constantly in and out of the fridge, and they never take a break. And then you end up eating too much. So it's important to plan and eat small and in a sitting, but do it often. They recommend, like I said earlier, every 2 to 3 hours or 5 to 6 times a day. The reason for this is our stress hormone called cortisol rises when we're hungry.
Time to go outside.
And then it triggers your body to store fat. Bye. The reason for this, is our stress hormone called cortisol rises when we're hungry. And then it triggers your body to store fat in your abdominal region. So that alone should be more reason and motivation enough for all of us ladies trying to lose belly fat. Sorry, I have to open the door so I can hear them. Okay. Tip number 5. Eat whole foods first. What are whole foods? You remember this. Non-processed, low-density foods. We want as little to no processing as possible. Know your foods and study the labels. Learn the fat and calorie intake, how much protein is in it, how many grams of sugar, how many carbohydrates, how many minerals and minerals and vitamins and antioxidants are in this. And just start looking at the labels, start reading the facts of what it is you're putting into your body. Because it's so true when they say that what you are what you eat. If you're eating stuff that's high in all of the bad stuff and good in and low in all of the good stuff, then you're gonna feel like crap. And I can tell you that's true from someone who did that for 21 years. No, 22 years. I can tell you that I did that to the extreme. I mean, I pushed the envelope. And I felt like crap. And I was sick and in the hospital every single day. And being pumped up with pills to make it better. And this whole time, it's just in knowing what I'm putting in my body. Start comparing foods. Take, like, I'll use my weakness, for example, is chips. So how many handfuls of chips can you eat? And be honest, because I can buy chips and eat the whole bag. And even though, I may start to kind of feel full, I'm not really, really satisfied and I'm still hungry, so I'm still eating it, and it just tastes good, so I'm still eating it. So, take that. Now, how many bowls of a salad can you eat before you feel full? I know maybe it's not the most exciting thing at first compared to all the sugar and junk food and bad foods, but I promise you, your body does get used to it. But I guarantee you, you can't eat 4 to 5 bowls of salad like you can 4 or 5 bowls of chips. So, that just shows you that the better food is going to satisfy your body. And probably after 1 or 2 bowls, you're definitely going to feel satisfied. I know I usually may go for a second helping of a salad because I love salads. But you're going to feel satisfied versus a whole bag of chips, because I could probably eat a second bag. That's why I don't keep them in my house. And I'm pretty sure that leads me to tip number 7. Oh no, that would be tip number 8, so almost there. Tip number 7, eat your favorite foods carefully and mindfully, in moderation. Don't rule them out, because I think when you put a ban on something and when you say, no, I'm never going to eat it again, that's when it becomes like, you're like, oh, well, I'm never going to have that again. All of a sudden it looks like the most delicious thing you've ever laid eyes on, and you have to have it or your entire life is going to unravel. Yeah. That's just a bad idea. It's a way to guarantee you for failure. So instead, do it in moderation. Let yourself have it. And plus you can use it as a reward. What? Yes, that's what I do. I make myself have a successful week. It doesn't always work. Sometimes I'm not the great, I get bad at my eating and my fitness, but what I do is I try to make sure I rock the week. So that, sorry, I had to check, make sure my kids didn't go out the gate. But, I make sure that I have a successful week, and I keep in mind my cheat meal or that one thing that I want to have. And that's my reward for doing so good. That's my reward for staying on track. And usually it's really bad. Like, I like to get my big bowl, and I have a pretty big bowl. I think it's like double, maybe triple the portion size. But, I like to get that bowl and just fill it with vanilla ice cream and pour some chocolate fudge on top and cover it in sprinkles and whipped cream. And that's my cheat meal. And I do that because it's not a bag of chips. Chips are my weakness. If I have chips in my house, I will go rate it. And I will eat that whole bag in like a second. But I won't devour the ice cream. I will let that sit there until I'm ready for my reward for doing so good. So that's the snack that I choose to have. And then if I want to have like a really bad cheat day, maybe I will buy a bag of chips and eat the whole bag, or maybe I'll buy a bag and just make sure everyone else in the house is going to eat some, so I'm not eating it alone. There's ways, to be mindful and have a strategy. And then don't keep temptations in the house. That's the best way to set yourself up for success, because if it's not there, you can't eat it, right? So stay away from the foods that you know that you have really bad time saying no to. The ones that you lack self-discipline and the willpower to say no. Tip number 9, close the kitchen after dinner. Busy your mind and yourself. Go spend time with your family. Go outside if it's nice. During this time of year, you can have a bonfire. It's beautiful weather for that. Go to the park. It's also great for that. You could take a brief walk around the block with your kids and then come home and play a board game. Just busy your mind. Don't go sit on the couch and watch TV, because what does TV do? It makes you want to eat, especially with all the commercials. So busy your mind and yourself. You could maybe start a project that you've wanted to do forever. Maybe that's the time you do it, when the kids are kind of relaxed or having quiet time. You know, you start a project. I don't know, anything to keep yourself out of the kitchen. Tell yourself it's closed. And have a good snack ready to go in the kitchen that is after dinner worthy, so that if you do walk into the kitchen, well, hey, I'm not going to do too bad. I'm going to go grab this little bag of pre-portioned out cashews that I have, or maybe this thing of cheese, this pre-portioned, slices of, or cubes of cheese, like just little healthy snacks that you can eat. And then there's a reason why we don't want to eat after dinner. Why is that? Yeah, I mean, I know you've heard that it's bad to eat late at night, right? Well, there's a science behind that. It's because it slows, or it keeps our metabolism running. It allows our body to stay running, and then that keeps us from being able to rest and truly sleep and relax, which is what we should be doing when we're sleeping, right? Our body needs to recover from the day. It needs to be able to metabolize that food and break down that food and get what it needs to before we shut down and go to sleep. Because when we're sleeping, if our body's still trying to break down all that food, well, our body's not going to be able to focus all of its energy on relaxing. So it's really important not to eat late at night. And that will help your metabolism work at its best, because it won't be being overworked when it shouldn't be being worked at all. It'll let it get some rest so that it can work at its max potential during the day like it should. Sorry. So, your assignment for this week is to ask yourself what you're doing and is it working? And I want you to grab a piece of paper and a pen and write down your 30-day goals. And tell me at the end of this week what your reward will be for reaching it. Even if it's a small goal, just set it for Monday. Your deadline is Monday. Pick a goal, write it down, and set it. And pick a reward. Maybe it's just buy yourself a pair of shoes, or you can go to Payless and get something pretty cheap. I've got to get some new tennis shoes. I need some running shoes. So maybe that's your reward. You do really good. You hit your goal for Monday, and you go buy yourself a pair of shoes. Or maybe it's a new outfit, because it's fall. It's season's starting to change. Maybe you set a goal so that you can fit into a new outfit on Monday. Depending on where you're at, that's definitely possible. Maybe you go get your nails done. Just anything that's not food related. Find a reward and make that a treat. Like, make that for yourself as an incentive to reach really hard and push through this last week, so that we can see and start off the second month with a positive mindset. So I'm sorry this is so long. My kids interrupted me. And I can't quite breathe, so it's a little hard to talk, and I'm fighting sneezing, so I'm really sorry. I hope this helps and that you guys are able to stay while it's like a half hour long. Yeah, so I'm gonna wrap this up, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I hope you guys use this last week and really make it your best and just push your all. And I'm just so proud of you guys for still being here, and let's keep going and pushing, and let's start off next month looking awesome and ready for our 30-day picks. All right, see you guys later. Bye.